Sulu's daughter makes a greater point than TOS crew in Star Trek Generations, says director. The daughter of Captain Hikaru Sulu, George Takei, served on the USS Enterprise B in Star Trek Generations, and the film's director pointed out how this speaks to the themes of the movie. As the first big-screen adventure for the cast of Star Trek: The Next Generation, Star Trek Generations acts as a passing of the torch from Captain James T. Kirk, William Shatner, and his crew to Captain Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart. Star Trek Generations begins as the USS Enterprise B sets out on her maiden voyage. Now retired, Kirk attends the voyage along with his former officers Montgomery Scott, James Doohan, and Pavel Chekhov, Walter Koenig. In Star Trek Generations prologue, Chekhov introduces Kirk to the helmsman of the USS Enterprise B, Ensign Demora Sulu, Jacqueline Kim, daughter of former Enterprise helmsman Hikaru Sulu. Kirk remarks that it wouldn't be the Enterprise without a Sulu at the helm. Although it's a brief scene, the moment speaks to Star Trek Generations' themes of legacy and passing the torch. In the Star Trek oral history, The 50-Year Mission, The Next 25 Years by Mark A. Altman and Edward Gross, Star Trek Generations director David Carson spoke about the inclusion of Sulu's daughter in the film. Read his full quote below. George Takei, in a way, was in the film. I thought having Sulu's daughter on the bridge of the Enterprise B was a wonderful way of continuing the generations and speaking about mortality. It was more important for us, I think, to deal with our theme, which is about mortality, the handing on of torches, the passing from generation to generation. To have a child of one of the originals on board the ship actually makes a greater point than producing everybody from the last series. To have the entire old cast makes it become a little bit like an old boys club instead of telling the story. We wanted to have a point. It wasn't a lark and romp in space. Star Trek: Picard introduced more Star Trek legacy children. In addition to introducing some children and descendants of characters from Star Trek, the original series, the Star Trek franchise has also introduced some of the next generation of Star Trek. The Next Generation. In Star Trek: Picard Season 1, Admiral Jean-Luc Picard visits his friends and former officers, Captain William Riker, Jonathan Frakes, and Counselor Deanna Troi, Marina Sirtis. When Picard first arrives, he is greeted by Will and Deanna's daughter, Kestra, Lulu Wilson, who is playing in the woods. This is Kestra's only appearance, but she's a wonderful character and a testament to the great parents Will and Deanna have become.